Gonads. We ready to go? Are we ready to go? Let me know. I'm just
Ooh. Breaking my curtains, cuz.
You know what I mean? Let's see if it's going now. I think it's going. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Raza the Barber, and
Your boy Stacks, what's up?
this is
We out here.
We out here. This is our second time recording this little intro because I don't know what I don't know what happened.
We'll blame it on the new iOS.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get it on my laptop, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I just want to say a big thank you to Manny for coming in 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now I can fix what I said
2
wrong.
weeks ago, he came through.
Yeah.
That was a fun episode.
Came in and hung out. So if you guys didn't listen, go back to the previous episode 10,
Yeah.
and just listen to
Go
how-
to the YouTube if you want to watch it. I know
that's right.
I know a lot of people, they like watching. Like I like watching podcasts more than listening.
Really?
Yeah. Because
Why?
it almost feels like you're in the room with them. Like if I'm listening to it on audio, I just feel like I'm going to forget what they say. Where if I see them like talking, I'm like, oh,
I don't know.
I feel like I'm in the room, you know?
Because I feel like when I'm doing this, I feel like I'm slouching all the time. So you'll always see me like kind of just
Readjusting yourself? Or
readjusting myself. So
you know what else needs readjusting? Your Raiders.
it's too fucking early, dude.
No, it
let
isn't.
Let it just go.
Shout out to Jimmy G and the Niner gang holding it down 3-0
Trash.
with the bye week this week to get some rest after winning all these games.
3 games, dude.
Hey, my boy Jimmy, 11-2 as a starter.
Gives a shit.
How's Derek Carr?
Doesn't matter.
He's whack.
Anyways.
Overly paid.
Doesn't matter. He's getting paid. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm a big Raider fan, but I just want my fantasy football to win. How are you on fantasy football?
I got wrecked. Shout out to Ghost. Ghost did work. This week sucked, dude. I started Saquon
and he got hurt.
And he got hurt. And then I benched Brady because during the week it said he was questionable with a calf strain.
Yeah, he didn't
So-
do that good though either.
Yeah.
I played against Kyle, so he had Aaron Rodgers. They won, but it wasn't that great of a
Yeah,
game
he
for
wasn't
him.
that good.
Yeah, man.
Fantasy's fun. We should have like a fantasy barber league.
Well,
Oh, never mind. That's the Barber Grammys.
oh, shut up. I had Lamar Jackson. I started him. So, what was his name?
I was hoping that the Baltimore Kansas game would have been more like that Rams and Kansas game from last year.
Yeah.
Like that was an insane game.
I have Mark Ingram. He got me 31 points. Juju got me 14. And Joe Mixon I was going to sit him too, from the Bengals.
Mhm.
He's been fucking up the first 2 weeks, and then I still kept him on there on flex. Green Bay gave me some good points, so it wasn't too bad. I lost on this one. I won this one. I lost in the other.
Okay.
Either way. So, hey, what's up? What did you do this weekend?
This weekend, I got my grill on.
Oh, you're Zach
did.
Boyardee or what?
Yeah,
You're
man.
Zachy Matheson?
Someone called me Zach Boyardee. I think.
Who did?
I don't know. Someone at school. One of the students. Yeah, and
What'd you do? What'd you do?
Saturday I was cutting hair all day, which is super fun. And then Sunday
You don't sound ecstatic about it, but go ahead.
Sunday stood home. Went to the market, bought all the meat. I smoked tri-tip and I smoked some ribs.
I had some of
man.
those. I had some of the, what did I have? The tri-tip?
I think tri-tip, yeah.
And the wings.
Yeah.
You brought these
I made wings.
little baby wings.
I know, dude. I was telling Roy that next time I'm just gonna buy like
Just regular, dude.
regular wings, no frozen, because frozen was kind of whack.
Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings. I'd rather just go there. You know what I mean?
You like Buffalo Wild Wings?
I love Buffalo Wild Wings. The only thing is that they switched the way they do the orders now.
Yeah, so it's like small, medium.
Yeah, it's small, and then they give you like a little plate.
Yeah, they do it based off weight now. Sucks, huh?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I just get the medium, and it still burns.
What's your go-to flavor?
That medium. When I go to Alondra's is
Original hot
nah. Fuck, I can't think of the
Chili
name
lime?
right now. It's kind of like that. It's
or the lemon pepper?
it's a name. Fuck, I don't know what the name is, but either way, it's
If you've
pretty
never,
good.
if you're wondering what Alondra's is, let me tell you, Alondra's.
Arlene sauce.
Mm,
Arlene sauce. There you go.
yeah. Oh, that's a secret sauce though.
Yeah,
That's not on the menu.
That's what I'm talking about. That's when you know
Yeah.
you're a part of something. You know what I mean?
So the Alondra Hot Wings is one of the best friggin' pizza Italian spots in the world.
I've been there. Yeah, I'll just keep it there. I'll keep it like that.
Yeah,
My shop used to be right across the street, so we would go
Mm.
for lunch or anything. But that's like a $20-something ticket every time we would go, so it would get pretty
Yeah,
expensive.
it gets expensive, but it's really good. But yeah, the what was I saying? The Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, I feel like it's a hit or miss. You either get like enough sauce or you don't get enough sauce on your wings.
At Buffalo Wild Wings,
Yeah.
I like the fries though.
Really?
Yeah,
At Buffalo, I like Wingstop fries better.
well, they're both good. Either way, one of the things is for me when I went to Buffalo Wild Wings is that they brought the fries out
Yeah.
like 15 minutes before they brought my wings out, and that's how do you do that?
Yeah.
It's not an
It's like
appetizer.
putting the aftershave on before you get the fade. Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Nope.
No, it doesn't.
And you know what I figured out this week?
What'd
Is
you
that
figure out, Zach? Stacks.
People that use that Mister on their friend, like on their clients, you know that one that I'm talking about.
Looks like a little like pebble or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the Barber equivalent of vape.
Really?
Yeah, you're a douchebag.
You're if you're just using that.
If you're using that Mister at the end of your service, that's like you're blowing vape into someone's face.
No, it's not the same thing.
No, oh yeah, it is.
How is it the same thing?
It's the same thing.
Elaborate.
It's the equivalent.
It's just equivalent.
Yeah.
Just because.
If you see someone that all they do is just vape all day, that's the same thing. You're doing that to your client.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the same. I think they're selling the experience.
Oh, here we go. Selling experience again.
I don't know, dude. I'm just saying. I'm trying
just-
to play devil's advocate here, just
Oh,
so
man.
just for the fact that. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't like those
I don't
misters.
personally use it. I'd rather just spray water on their face with their Mister. But
yeah, at the
that
end of
one.
service.
But a lot of guys put aftershaves inside of it, so they're kind of using it as the aftershave
Mhm.
or whatever. Yeah. Either way. I
Either
don't
way.
know.
Either way, don't use it. Don't do it. Don't be that guy.
All right, well, you guys, you heard that. Listen to Stacks.
I'm gonna get a bunch of hate mail.
It's all right. Send it to Stacks. Send it to us. Let us know what you guys are thinking. So yeah, this weekend, going back into, I was in Michigan with Fern, and we did classes for some hands-on in Michigan, which we already talked about. It wasn't cold. It was kind of hot. It was very muggy.
Yeah.
I think we went to this spot because we stayed at this hotel, and it was called like the Delta Inn, or I don't know what it was.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, right. And we went to go eat at, and this is, I don't know if I should even say this, but we went to TGI Fridays, which was across the street. It's probably one of the worst services ever, dude. So, anyways, we were eating, and when I was sitting down, you always go with the hamburger when you're traveling. Why? Is because it's probably the safest thing that I think. So Fernie got some fucking salad with chicken on it or whatever. I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna eat that. So I got the hamburger. When I was sitting down, we were at the bar. When we were at the bar, they had this like where the spout. What is it? The beer taps. So I'm eating, and I look at the beer taps, and these little flies are like kind of like just kind of going around, like just hanging around, dude. I was like, fuck. I don't know if this food's gonna fuck me up or whatever. Maybe I put it in my head. I don't know what. But right when we got out, we went to the store. Let's just say it fucked up my stomach. About right when we got back to the hotel, I guess next to the hotel there's like a little doorway that goes into another, goes into like a little bar. So we go in there, and I didn't drink because
Your stomach was already messed
I already
up.
fucked up my stomach, and I just had water with the straw, a regular straw, and Fernie had 2 beers, right? So he just had those 2 beers, and we were gonna take off. So the guy comes up and he goes, "Here's your tab." He pulls the tab down. It was only $6 for these 2 beers, dude. You should have seen Fern's face. Fern was like, "Dude, I'm gonna be here every day we were there," which we were. And then there's this other thing. It's called it was like a beer view, or it was like the beer wall or some shit, and you have to drink 150 beers in order for your name to be up there on that wall. Fernie wanted to do it that day. They told him he couldn't because he can die. He would fucking die. But either way, it was cool. We did after that. Well, the next day we did the hands-on for the professionals, and the second day was feature professionals. So we did the guest speaker, which was really cool. It's something different.
Yeah, it looked cool.
Yeah, I was wearing my camel pants that you were talking shit about. There's nothing wrong with camel pants.
No, there isn't.
So why are you talking shit?
Because we were just making fun of Mark for his desert boots.
And
Yeah,
what does that have anything to do with?
I thought you took his pants.
But we're talking
Out of
about
his
boots.
army.
But we're talking
Out
about
of his
boots.
army. Well, he has to have an army outfit in his closet.
The fucking thing. He's from Onyx or what? Remember Onyx? All those New York rappers used to wear? Yeah, dude. Yeah, so I know.
Did you see a lot of Wolverines in Michigan?
No, because we were in, where the hell were we? Grand Rapids.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I didn't really see anything. When we go traveling, it's usually we go from point A to point Z or whatever.
Yeah.
Like we never divert.
Point A to Z? Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of different places. Just go straight. That's just going straight to it.
Oh.
So do you want me to say A to B?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I say A to B and C, whatever,
Okay.
you know what the fuck I mean?
Did you and Fern share a room?
Nope.
What?
No, well,
Ballers, man.
it was.
You guys are ballers.
No, I didn't share a room. It was cool.
I was gonna ask you if you put foil on the floor.
Put foil on the floor.
We're gonna talk to him about that this weekend on the podcast.
So this weekend we have a pretty cool event going on in Pasadena. We have the Maverick tryouts, and
What is Maverick?
Maverick is the Paul Mitchell line, men's line, aside from Mitch.
Yeah.
So it's more so kind of like from the barber to the barber kind of deal.
Mm.
So we have a lot of skin products and a lot of beard products alongside with like a texture or a dry paste and an original, which it's pretty cool. So it kind of takes on a little bit more than just hair, which is pretty cool, I guess you can say. But yeah, we're doing that. So we're going to try to do is get a couple people in one of our rooms, I guess, and try to have at least 4 people in there, 4 or 5, and just kind of have fun and talk shit.
Yeah.
And BS.
So if Fern shows up, he's been trying to avoid it all
He's
week.
been dodging us. I think he's afraid.
Yeah, he's afraid of something he might say.
Yeah.
He got blasted today by the pissed off barber, and that was hilarious.
What happened?
Him and Dre had pissed off barber's been going in on Dre all day.
Yeah, dude. What happened?
With what?
Well, why was he going in?
On Dre? I don't know.
No, on Fern.
Oh, Fern? Oh, man. So I ordered a pissed off barber shirt like almost a month ago, it felt like. And it came in today in the mail. And so I took a picture of it. I sent it to the pissed off barber. And I was like, finally got my shirt, whatever. And then, so Fern gets my shirt. And then he takes a picture with it. And he posts on his story, thanks pissed off barber for my care package.
Care package.
Yeah.
Dude. This was Drake. He hit him with the care package.
The sponsorship. And so the pissed off barber reposted it, and he said, give your mate his shirt back and stop dreaming or something about that. Like, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, because it was right after he took that picture, then he posted it. Because I was in another room. I was on the other side of the fucking building, and I heard you laughing.
Yeah.
I knew something was going on.
That was funny. Well, because I had taken a picture of Fern's mullet, and I sent it to the pissed off barber. And then he posted it.
Oh, you're sending shit to the pissed off barber.
Someone's got to give him material from the U.S. He's a UK guy.
Dude. No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know.
He's from the UK.
We don't know who he is.
I know who he is.
No, you don't.
I'm not going to be like 6'9".
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, you are.
I'm a Hernandez, but I'm not going to be snitching on anybody.
Oh, you are Hernandez. I forgot. Oh, shit.
Someone tried telling me that the other day. Oh, you're Hernandez, like 6'9"?
Yeah, dude.
Well, there's like a million of us.
You're going to be pulling rata on everybody? Or
Nah.
State board comes, he doesn't even have a license. That's what you're going to do?
No.
Go to that barbershop. They don't have licenses.
I know a couple barbershops that they have unlicensed barbers.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say.
You're not going to say it. Yeah.
Because I'd rather hold that bribe over the barbers.
Bribe?
Like, what's up? State board's coming.
Shut
I'm going to
the
let them know
fuck
where
up.
you're at.
Dude, I remember when I was in the shop, what would happen was if State Board was in the block or if they were
everyone
around
would
the area,
text each other.
Dude, you're just, and that was when you knew that you were cool with everybody. Because if you weren't getting no text messages and State Board hit you, you're gonna be like, fuck.
Yeah.
No one told me. No one gave me the watch out.
No.
So that's why you always got to be cool with all the barbershops that are around your neighborhood. Because when State Board hits, that shit's a fine and it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, I try and tell the students at the school, like, hey, pick up the Sanex strip. That's like $100 right there.
Yeah, man, and it makes a big difference.
Look at all that hair. That's another $100.
So I know we put up earlier on the question or whatever it was on Instagram, and we were saying like what kind of topics that people wanted to talk about, and one of them was about being in a barbershop or even at that owning one, right? Mm-hmm. So State Board is a big factor when you look at that because you're looking at it as a barber, right? But as an owner, the owner is getting taxed for certain things, right? So, like, let's say there's hair on the what is it, on the bowl?
Yeah.
Barbers aren't getting taxed for that. Mm-mm. The owner's going to get taxed for that. You know, if the towels aren't in the bin or if the bin doesn't have a top, the barbers don't get that.
Yeah, it's
the owner gets it. You know what I mean? So I think it's it's always good to understand that, yeah, granted, you're not used to cleaning up after yourself or whatever, but you got to be mindful of where you're working at, which makes a big difference. You never want to go into a shop that's mad dirty.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Would you want to get a haircut there?
No.
Nah. So it's just always understanding
If it was dirty and the barber's wearing shorts, I'm out, bro.
Fuck. You're wearing shorts right now.
Yeah, I am.
This guy, dude. This guy has some...
I'm wearing my Daisy Dukes. I'm at home right now,
Those
cuz.
are Speedos, dog.
These are my Nike swimmers.
No. Keep those down there, buddy.
I can only lift up my left leg right now. my right knee's messed up.
But yeah, man, I think being in a shop and not only working in it, but having a shop on your own, it takes a lot of toll on you, but also because you have to make sure that everybody's in there. So
Yeah.
I know that was the kind of a question that people would always talk about, like, oh, what is it about being an owner, or how was it, or was it fun? For me, it was fun in the beginning, but then after it got a little too crazy.
Yeah.
And it was just because I hired a lot of my buddies, and it was hard to kind of differentiate the fact of...
Like owner or boss. And
boss
worker.
and then homies. And I never wanted to be an asshole.
Yeah.
But I used to yell at those guys because what they always wanted to do is they always wanted to party.
Mm-hmm.
They always had the radio blasting loud. And then I think we always talk about that is understanding when to have the music loud and when to have it low. These guys didn't give a shit. It'd be like 9 a.m. music. And we had like a DJ system with these big ass woofers. Fucking loud all the time. So I think it was one time where I was just cutting hair and I just got fed up. I'm like, turn the fucking radio off loud, dude. And, you know, they're the homies, so they just turned around and started laughing at me because they knew that I was a grump.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm a grump?
Yeah.
Faster, dude.
Yeah, dude. I think you're a grump because of how far you drive.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Dude, so last week, I was stuck in traffic, and I was so wound up when I got to the school, dude. I was so grumpy.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, this is what Freddie must feel like.
I remember one time it took me an hour and 45 to get to school, and it took me 2 hours to get home.
Remember when we were supposed to go to Kogi? And you're like,
oh, dude.
And I was like, where you at? I was on the freeway. Bro, it was already 7:30, and you left at 4:30.
Dude, I was so mad because I don't know what I think, because I do my normal route. I take Harbor up, take the 22, get on the 57. Well, I got on the 22, and when I got on right before you get on the 57 or the Crush or whatever you want to call it.
Is that that's called, the Crush? I've always wondered. People always ask about the Crush. I'm like, I don't know.
I think that's it, or I think it's where the 5 and the 22. I don't know, one of those. Anyways, I think it is the Crush, and it was stuck there, and it's never really stuck there in the middle. So when I was getting on, I was like, fuck. All of a sudden I looked, the 57 is closed. So I had to go all the way around. Mm-hmm. Once I got on the 22, I had to go all the way around, get on the 5. Once I got on the 5, I had to get off on the next exit. It was the worst thing ever, dude. And then you had to go, and then the Angels were playing.
They actually had traffic?
That's a good one. But either way, they were playing, and there was just traffic all the way around it. So I had to go all the way around, and then I was on Waze. So when I was looking on Waze, I guess it just had happened. So it kept on telling me to get back on the freeway. So I was going, make a right, make a left, make a right, whatever. And it tells me to get on the freeway, and that shit was blocked. Yeah. So then I had to go all the way around, go to the next one.
I would have just gave up, bro. I would have got a hotel right there. Like, hey, babe, I'm not coming home.
Dude, I was pissed. So that's why when you're like, oh, because I always never go anywhere, you know. And every time you ask me, and I wanted to go that time. And I was so mad, dude. I go, oh, you know what? I'm not going to go. I'm going to be in a fucking pretty pissed off mood if I go. Because who likes to sit in traffic?
No one, dude.
So you can only listen to so much music. Yeah. And I don't listen to the radio anymore. So it's like me going on Spotify, me going on Apple Music or whatever.
I'm at that point right now, too, where it's like I don't know what I want to listen to musically. Because I've listened to everything in my library. I like over and over, like all these new artists that I've listened to. I'm like, I like them, but I don't want to get tired of them, and I'm tired of them. And then podcasts, I'm like, I can only listen to so much Gary Vee. I can only listen to so much Joe Rogan. You know, like
they all yell.
You know, but what I've been doing is like I've been listening to like chefs talk about like recipes and stuff. So that's been helpful. So
this guy and his recipes, man.
I think that has a lot to do with like our attitudes. Just sometimes like
my biggest thing is that who starts traffic? Like, how does traffic start? If we're all going one fucking way, just one way, who fucks it up?
There's a theory, or I saw this not too long ago, that if everyone is going the same speed, right? So let's say you're on like the 5, right? And everyone is going the same exact speed. Everyone's going 65 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And one person brakes and slows down that 65 miles an hour, they'll feel that brake for 2 hours.
What?
Mm-hmm.
So if every time I brake, people are going to feel it for 2 hours?
Mm-hmm. Because you're slowing down the flow.
I'd rather fucking run to work. What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, dude, I can't do that.
It's a crazy. I think it was like a scientific like breakdown of.
I gotta look it up.
Mathematics and stuff. But it was just like
I don't know math.
Just one person that breaks causes someone else to break. It's just a chain reaction. Just boop boop boop.
Well, it makes sense in that point, but someone has to really break in order for it to really fuck up.
Because I think also too the thing was like not like people think that car crashes are like the main, but like. So there's times where I'll get on the 5, and there's just a traffic jam. I'm like, what the heck? Like, there must be a crash. That's my first.
And then it just goes.
And then it just like keeps going. Like, there's 5 people that are stopping right there for no reason, and it's causing all of us to feel it. Like,
Dude,
it makes sense.
But then you feel bad when you're thinking, fuck, I want to just go. Who the fuck? Whoa. There's an accident or whatever. I remember one time when there was a big accident, and I was so mad, dude, because I was coming down the hill. And there was a car accident, and there was someone on the floor. So the whole time to work, I felt like shit because I was like, "Fuck, dude, I'm over here complaining
that was
about."
His fault.
Oh man, that's fucked up, dude. No, man.
Shouldn't have been driving like an idiot.
No, man, that's fucked
messed up.
No,
I take that back.
Yeah, so
hey, we'll edit that out.
No,
we're gonna edit that out.
Nope, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, it made me feel like shit. So I was even talking to my wife, and I was getting so mad and aggravated. So now when I think about it after the fact, when I'm like, I shouldn't get mad because something could have happened or something can happen, but. One of the worst things is like someone's pulled over on the other fucking side of the freeway.
And people are just looking.
Yeah, or someone got pulled over on the left side or on the other side, and these guys are just looky-loos, and they just...
Those rubbernecks.
It just pisses me off, dude. And that's just traffic. But a cool little topic would be... well, not even a topic. How about some of our listeners send us music?
Yeah.
We want to know, because I can listen to any kind of music. I listen to Spanish music. Like when it comes on my phone, I just have it on shuffle. Whew. Sing like no one's watching, and I don't have no tint. I don't have no tint on my window, so I don't give a shit.
That little death box of your car. Oh man, I feel like I'm in a smart car when I'm in your car.
Why? Because it's so small. Yeah, dude. So, well, I mean,
I'm a big guy. So.
Yeah, so I have to pull the chair all the way back. Say that. But I always keep everything in my car.
Yeah.
So like my sweater,
that clutter life. It's. It was funny because I was listening to Gary Vee, and he said the most selfish thing that we can do is like, or like being in a hurry in traffic is like the most selfish thing because you're like, I have to get here, I have to be at work on time, this and that, and it made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So I've tried changing my view on that, and I just like cruise down Beach Boulevard all the way to work, and sometimes I'm like, hurry up. Like,
I've been listening to oldies.
Yeah.
I think oldies calms me down, even though it's sad, because it always takes me back to like, when you're younger or whatever. I don't know.
So you're listening to like Mozart and
fuck you,
and those oldies,
fucking Beethoven,
Beethoven.
This fucking guy, dude.
Listening to harps and like proper composition.
Such an asshole, dude. Either way,
I want to shout you out because you had your birthday last week too.
Yeah,
last Friday.
You know what? You've been burning me out the last fucking week about my birthday.
Hey,
my biggest thing is I don't like the attention.
You don't like celebrating your birthday. I'm gonna change that. That's like my wife.
I don't like
celebrating.
Yeah, why? I'm getting older. I don't even like the fucking number 37. It doesn't look good. Yeah. 36 looks good. You look at it, 36. What do you 37, mean? 37. Just looking at the number 37, right?
Oh, I thought you said you were born in 1937. That's what we were talking about. My bad.
All right, I'm done. Roy, you ready to get on this mic? Oh, man. Yeah, dude. So it was my birthday.
What'd you end up doing? You went to a USC game.
Yeah, I'm a UCLA fan, one. Yes,
don't.
I'm a UCLA fan, but I went to the USC game, and it was actually a pretty good game. It was cool. My kid.
That was a Thursday game?
That was the Friday game.
Friday,
yeah. I left early, and then on Saturday I went to the Was it
Dodger game.
Yeah, I went to the Dodger game,
Yeah.
and that was cool. And they lost, and then I think they lose every time. I had a michelada there. Woo, $17, but it was bomb. And
Yeah.
on
One of the clients from Uptown Barbers, he's like the manufacturer of the michelada mix at Dodger Stadium.
So why aren't we getting this?
Because I don't work at Uptown anymore.
But don't you know them?
Yeah. But
So
I don't drink micheladas.
And I do.
Well, now I know. I'll hit him up.
There you go. And then on Sunday, my Mama
What did your mom make?
Mama Duke's made was it pozole?
Oh, that's what it looked like to me. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, that looks bomb.
So
Green or red?
it was red. So because my kids never see, like, I got used to that. So it was one of those things where, you know, mom always cooked for me or whatever.
Mhm.
That's why when you were telling me about do I ever cook, and Fernie was asking me, I never cooked because mama always hooked it up. But pig feet, you know, they put a pig feet or whatever in there, and I was eating it, and my kids were looking at me because I'm very picky.
Mm-hmm.
But with that shit,
Oh, it's so good.
it was really good, dude. So she hooked it up.
Pig's feet.
Hog mouse, whatever he said.
I like collard greens.
Yeah, so that was cool. Getting that done.
Homemade food is so much better than.
Mom's hooked it up, dude. She
Yeah.
made it from, I guess, scratch or I don't know how she ended up making it up. And then it was funny because right when I got there, my mom's like, because she had texted me, but I don't like to look at my phone when I'm driving most of the time. If anything, like I'll look at it. My wife always gets mad because I'm always on Instagram, but I don't receive text messages. Sorry, wife. And when I'm driving or with the kids or whatever, my biggest point is to get to point A to point Z.
Yeah.
Right. So when I got there, she was like, I wanted you to get a cabbage. So I went to this little like market right there in Baldwin Park on Main.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy because they had everything out. Like it was crazy. It was so small, but they had everything. Like the cabbage. They had.
Was it a Mexican market?
Yeah, it was like they even had the cactus.
Ooh.
And all that stuff. So it was pretty cool.
Nopal.
The nopal. There you go. They were taking off the
stickies.
Yeah. So
I have a bunch in my backyard.
I don't eat
Cactus.
that
You don't like nopal?
though. No, I never
man.
ate that. I don't like
Nopalas are
anything
bomb.
green, my G.
Really? You don't like green enchiladas? I made you green enchiladas and you ate those.
Oh yeah, but that's different.
You don't like green pozole?
Yeah, that's tocino, isn't it?
Tomatillo? I don't know.
I don't know. Either way. But yeah, mom hooked it up with that, and I think fucking Monday was back to work.
Yeah.
Uh,
And you got tri-tip.
the tri-tip was bomb, dude. Not gonna lie.
What was I gonna tell you? We had asked people to send us some topics for today's episode, and one of the topics that we had was what are some do's and don'ts behind the chair?
Do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Make sure you know where the person's elbow's at.
Watch your elbows.
Yeah, watch your elbows. I saw a meme the other day. Someone already kind of took that one from us.
Pissed off Barber.
I don't know. Do's and don'ts. Don't be a douchebag, for one. Be respectful.
Yeah.
Always greet the client. Never assume the haircut. Always ask what the haircut is. Never make it about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've already kind of gone through this. What are your tips?
Those are all. I think they're all the same. Don't wear shorts. Don't use misters.
Okay, one of my biggest things right now is headphones while you're cutting hair.
Oh, bro.
And it used to happen all the time.
Listen to my sigh.
All right, when we're doing headphones while you're cutting hair, it takes away from the client.
If you want to talk about experience, it takes away from your customer experience.
Yeah, you can't hear them. You can't. Like, you're just zoning out, which I get it. You might need to zone out sometimes, but it's just
It's a bad look.
It's just unprofessional.
Oh, yeah.
So those of you that are cutting hair with headphones on, just take them out. Even if you have those AirPods, take those AirPods off.
Yeah.
Be if these guys are going to pay you money, then respect that. I guess it's just and that's why for me having music so loud at the shop was always something for me because I always felt like I needed to have that interaction with that client.
Exactly.
And everybody would always make fun of me. It's like, it's not even that. It's just the experience that I want to give my client. I want them to come back because I want to hear what they're saying. Or they might want to hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point at that. But I don't know. It just doesn't look right.
No.
It's just like if a dentist was just fucking going crazy on your teeth and he had headphones on and you're telling him like, hey, you need to stop, it's hurting or something like that, and homeboy can't hear you.
Yeah.
You know, or how does that look? The perception of it just looks pretty bad. I don't know. That was just that's a definitely don't behind the chair.
So listening to music gets on my nerves. It's a pet peeve of mine. You're cutting hair and you have a headphone in.
Okay. Yeah.
But even bigger is when you have the headphone in and you're on the phone with somebody and you're talking to somebody while you're cutting someone's hair. To me, that I don't care if it's like a, emergency. If it's an emergency,
walk away.
Your client will understand. But if you're talking to your friend like, oh, what are you going to do tonight? Let's go do this. Like, dude, cut that out. It's stupid.
And honestly, I used to be it used to happen to me when I would, like, obviously when Instagram first started, I was always looking at it or whatever, but just remember, they're paying that 30-minute or that hour of your time. Give it to them. They're basically paying your time. They're paying for. I think Fernie had said that. I think they're paying like a time of, or they're paying for a certain amount of your time as a barber. So then you need to give that back. You know what I mean? Especially if you're charging a pretty good amount of your $100 for a haircut.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you're charging $100 for a haircut.
No, yeah. So that's a definitely don't.
Yeah, that to me, like, so I know I make a light of like wearing shorts, right? That's just like, I say it now more because Dub, like, it got him a little mad. But like, if you're keeping a professional look, then keep a professional look. I understand, like, shorts, I'm not, like, I just said that just to play devil's advocate a little bit. Like, if you wear shorts, cool. But if you don't look professional, like basketball shorts, sweat shorts, like the shorts I'm wearing right now, like if if I walked in and you're wearing these shorts, I'd be like, dude, I'm not getting my haircut with you. Like, so I think it's just that whole professional look. It's like, dude, barbers used to offer an experience, a service, and a professional.
They still do. They still do.
And in a professional manner. And now I feel like we're sort of like getting away from that, like the professionalism a little bit. It's becoming, sort of watered down. Like, it's still professional, but we're adding like, oh, I'm gonna wear my headphones when I cut hair.
I'm cool.
I'm gonna come in faded. I'm gonna come in smelling like weed. I'm gonna come in, like, dude. Like,
I mean, look, to each their own.
Yeah.
But just understand, like we were saying, it's the perception of what that client.
But
and
even
you can
then,
work up to that.
To each their own. That's cool, but
you can work up to that.
You don't want if you're meeting with someone like a doctor, right? And your doctor comes in and he smells like he just smoked five joints, right? Like, you're gonna trust that doctor? Like, if you're about to go have surgery and your surgeon,
oh, surgery is a big difference.
Like, dude, I would not trust if I was at the bank and some dude smelled like he had been drinking. Like, why am I gonna trust this guy with my bank with all my money right now? Like,
I get it, but
so that's the thing. Is like, dude, like that is part of, like, if you smoke weed, that's cool, do it. But don't come in reeking like it.
Yeah, that's the difference.
If you want to drink and you like to have fun like that,
step away from the shop.
But don't do it while you're working, because they can smell that on you and they might not come back to you. And if they do, cool, they don't mind. But to have that professional look of like, dude, like, when I'm here, I cut hair. That's it. And I just want to give you the best haircut, the best service, and then, I'm out.
And it's crazy because some guys or some barbers work off of that. Like, they cut hair and they do a lot of different things while they're high or something. You know what I mean? Like, where they're smoking.
They function.
They're functioning, but like you said, no one wants to smell your fingers. Yeah. It smells like it. You go to the restroom, wash your fucking hands. Anything, you just go in and you wash it. So my biggest thing is that you're gonna smoke a cigarette, smoke whatever. Wash your hands. Make sure you can't smell it, because how would that feel if you're gonna get a shave and your hands smell like Marlboro or whatever it is? Those are don'ts. When I say don'ts, it's just make sure your hygiene, or make sure that you don't smell like whatever it is that you're doing. Yeah,
that's because I remember.
That's a don't.
Yeah, that's a big don't. I remember I had when I was in barber school, one of the people that talked to us, he was talking about, he's like, if you smoke cigarettes, don't come in and try and do a shave.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
So he gave us, he's like, best thing to cover up, just throw some aftershave in your head. Like,
yeah, you could do that, spray it or whatever. But
I remember when the students would come in, just like reeking like it, and they would just, hey, Go spray yourself, do something, and then you would just see him in the back row with the Cool Care.
Cool Care's not gonna do anything.
Cool Care bath like they were in middle school with Axe.
Yeah, man. It like I said, it happens. It's legal now, I guess. But coming drunk, that's a different story. But just be mindful. I think the biggest dues is just, again, be respectful, be understanding of what the time is that they're giving you and that they're paying you for. Listen to them. Respond, understand the difference between empathetic and sympathetic, right? And I don't know. I just think that they go in there for that service. They want to be listened to, and they don't get that at home sometimes. So they want to be listened to. They just want to hear. They want to hear someone else's point of view. And like we always say, it always becomes kind of like a therapy session for them. Yeah. So every week they see you. Every 2 weeks they see you. So. It's crazy because your client might see you more than they probably see their parents or their cousins or their brothers, whatever, because they see you every week. So just always understand that and always know that when they, they pay you or whenever they get their appointment, just understand that they're coming, they're making that time out of that week to come and see you. Mm-hmm. So be respectful for that.
I think sometimes we get lost in like, well, I know this client, he doesn't really talk during the service, so then they take advantage of that. But I think we have to realize too that like they may come and not talk, but having that quiet may like
that be their thing.
That's their thing. Whereas some people like to talk and get you engaged in the conversation. Some people they just like they respect you. They don't expect you, but it's almost like I'm gonna be quiet if you're quiet. Like
they understand.
That's the experience that they want, So. I think if we take advantage of that, of like, my client doesn't talk anyway, so I'm just gonna do it. Like,
just kind of venture out and be like, hey, how's everything going? And if that person stops right after that, then it's over. I think sometimes even it gets to a point where, since our clients are always facing away from each other, they're facing other people, so they can get into other conversations. So I remember my client getting into other conversations too with other clients or barbers, and it just becomes so. I think those are the things that I valued most in a barbershop is being able to walk in there, cut. Everybody's talking to each other. Everybody's vibing.
That's a good time.
Yeah, and then especially like networking or even doing the barter system. That same sense of these guys might be doing something that this person wants to venture in, and then they start doing different businesses or whatever it is. That's how that works. And I feel like
the people in your chair might be the biggest hookups that you know.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like those 50% at vans.
We were talking about that today. I remember I had a. Right into the mic.
Oh, my bad. This horchata got me. You know what I mean?
I remember I had a client. Then he worked at Best Buy, dude. So he always like, hey, I got, I could get this, and this. And so I remember when I got the like iPhone 8 when it was brand new.
Yeah.
And he was like, let me know. I get order boxes for $20. I said, bring it,
Order boxes?
Yeah.
You're that guy with that big ass thing?
No, so I use these.
Construction worker?
This is an otter box.
That's not an otter box.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, they stole that from, what's that other company? The other company that had those. They used to have those big ass VCR boxes.
Who, OtterBox?
Yeah.
They still have them.
Those are horrible, dude.
I had
it one time. It was just like, no.
Did you have the clip or what on your belt?
I never did that. My wife never let me do that.
Yeah, so I use these clear, like they're heavy duty, and so he was like, bring them. And so he brought me like a case, and he brought me like the blackout protector.
How come you haven't given me that?
I haven't talked to him in like a year since I've been gone. But yeah, so I got the privacy screen. And my wife's like, "Why do you need that?"
You don't need that, my G.
You don't need that.
No, you don't need that.
I was like, "Well, I'm in the shop, and I don't want people,
nope.
I don't want people looking into my text messages, so I don't have it anymore." You can see.
I can see Biggie Smalls.
You can see Biggie Smalls.
There's a good resemblance between you and him.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That's what you're gonna dress up as tomorrow, isn't it?
Oh man, I couldn't find a bright sweater.
Yeah, man.
Do you have one? You always have bigger clothes. You bought your born and raised shirts in 2X.
I got one because it's sold out, so I just wanted to get it, and I'm gonna shrink it.
So back to the do's and don'ts. Like, yeah, just be mindful of who's in your chair because you never know, who's what, how you guys can help each other, and even like being mindful of who's in the other chairs in the shop.
Understanding what conversation you should have.
Yeah, and I think a big do is always make sure your chair's like away from the mirror. I think that helps it'll help you because they're not looking at their haircut the entire time.
Yeah. They're not moving. Sometimes you still get those guys.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest things that I've noticed is, and I've heard it from a lot of people, is that you never know what that person might be going through that day.
Yeah.
So that person might be either sad, might be depressed, or whatever it is. And like I said, that's kind of like a little, how would I say? It's like a little room, which is the barbershop, that they go in there to just kind of not necessarily forget what they're going through, but it just kind of gives them that freedom because they can talk about what it is that they want to do with no rejection, and we won't say anything, depending on how close we are with that client. If we call bullshit, we just call bullshit on them, and they understand it because that's what the barbershop's for. That's why you always hear barbershop talk, is because it's the realest thing that you can get at this point. I don't know how real it can get because how everybody's being so soft as of late, but I just
I was thinking about this earlier too. Like, where is the line, in certain things? Like, I know some shops, it's like they have signs that say like, don't talk politics, don't talk religion, don't talk. Some spots even say like sports, like because people get super crazy about that. But like in the shop that I was at, we talked about it all. Like there was no like, you could talk about politics, you could talk about your religion, you could talk about sports teams, and people would like always chime in and never got hostile. And I think it had to do because one of the barbers that was there, he was very outspoken in his views on politics and stuff.
I think it's good, but it could be bad.
Yeah, so there's definitely people that got upset at some of the stuff that he said, but there was a lot of people that agreed with what he was saying at the same time. So it's just like there's lines like I think we have to like be aware of because it's.
No, I know what you mean. Because I think at the proper barbershop, it was cool because we had this little box. And there were certain words that we couldn't say, right? And every time you would say that word, it would slip up. We would have to put money in it. And I learned that from the proper barbershop. And then once I got on my own shop, I did kind of the same thing. I didn't make them put money in, but there were certain things that you couldn't say because, granted, it is an open forum, but I think religion was the hardest thing. I would always dead it. I would always stop it. Did I say religion? Yeah, right. And politics, because politics, everybody has different views. But the problem is that when they have those different views, they're very, very, very like straightforward with it, And you don't know. Again, you don't know who the hell's in the shop. You don't know who you're dealing with. And one of the biggest things for me was the F word, right? You know what F word I'm talking about?
The FAG word?
Yes, that word. And so the reason why
I spelled it out. I could have said it.
It's a good thing.
I could have said it, but
it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But that word there, it was. You don't know you don't know who's next to you. You don't know. So if you say that word out loud or whatever, then that for me was a big no-no. It was like, nah, man, you can't say that. And it's just being disrespectful and understanding who you're around. And there's a saying. What is it? Little pigs have big ears. Yeah, I've heard it. I don't know. I heard that once.
It sounds familiar.
But again, just understanding who's around and what you're talking about. But I would always suggest no politics and no religion. Sports, I think talking about sports is fun. Yeah. Because it could be the same thing with music. I don't know. I like rap. I like music. I don't like country. But I respect it.
That's good. I like country.
Yeah?
Yeah. I could listen to a good country. So, like, for me, with music, it's weird for me because, like, during like the seasons, I'll listen to like certain artists more because I feel like that's more of like a winter. Like when I listen to Bon Iver, bro, that's like fall into like winter time, bro.
Bon Iver? I don't even like the name, dude.
Oh, bro, he's a genius.
That's a dude?
Yeah, it's a band.
Bon Iver.
Bon Iver.
Okay.
Wait,
Bon Iver.
Bon Iver, yeah. Bon Iver. I'll listen to like Sufjan Stevens during like Christmas time, like summertime, bro. It's country, it's reggae, it's like hip hop, oldies. Like those are like summer to me. Like listening to like Sublime, like that reminds me of like going to the beach. Like country reminds me of going to the beach. Like oldies remind me of like barbecuing, like with the family. So like for me, like I'll listen to music based on like what the weather's like.
You're a weirdo, dude. I always feel
I'll
like
listen to like City and Color. Like if it's gloomy outside, if it's 100 degrees outside but it's gloomy, City and Color.
Shut the fuck, dude. I actually have a playlist that is called Rainy Days. I can tell you who's on
Beethoven's
it right.
greatest hits.
Shut the fuck up. I can actually tell you who's on this list.
Amadeus.
Relax. Let me see. Where is it at? It's called Rainy Days. I have drunk,
With a Z?
Drunk Mexican music. I have a Canada playlist when I used to go over there. Where is it at? Rainy Day. So the first one is Lake of Fire, Nirvana.
Nirvana.
With or Without You, U2. Nutshell, Alice in Chains. The Grand Optimist by City and Color. There you go.
There we go.
See? And I think Down in a Hole, Alice in Chains. So those are, I can see that being one of those things. I guess you kind of hit that in the head. What else do I have? The Smiths.
That's always Rainy Day music, though.
Obviously. I have, I don't know. I have weird-ass things. Lo-fi. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. But like we said, send us some music. Let us know, and we'll kind of critique. We can critique your music because you can tell a lot by a person's playlist. Are you paying attention or what's going on?
I'm listening to you.
You know what I mean?
My homie's daughter's in the hospital, so I'm making sure she's cool.
Oh, now you're making me fucking feel like shit.
Oh, man.
But you can tell a lot by a person's playlist.
Oh, yeah.
Right? What music do you listen to?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying with other people. Like if I grab his, Oh,
I know Roy's playlist.
What's
It's
Roy's
all
playlist?
love. He's in love right now, bro.
Really?
He's in a new relationship. He's in love, bro. He's smitten. He's listening to the Smiths. Oh, no, he's not listening to the Smiths.
listen.
Opposite of the Smiths.
That'd be after.
Maybe after. What did he say?
You're listening to oldies right now. You know what I mean?
Sinatra.
No one listens to Sinatra.
Bro. Look at what's on right there. That's Sinatra right there,
That's
bro.
a toy.
Yeah. It's a very good toy.
Right now, you know what I mean? It's all right. Listen to Khalid.
Isn't he more breakup, though?
Yeah, later.
He's listening to Ocean right now, Frank Ocean. I've been thinking about you. Oh, nah.
Nah, don't sing it, my G. What other questions did they have? Did you get any more other questions? Let's see. Let's look at that.
I think that was good for do's and don'ts.
Yeah. Let's talk about, let's see. I got one about touring.
Touring?
Again. Why do barbers tour?
Ooh.
Okay. So I'm going to be honest, and this is just me being honest with these three people in the room.
What do you mean three? There's
just a bunch of people that are going to be listening.
Oh.
I think touring is cool. I just don't think calling it a tour is what it needs to be. I feel like it can be education. It can be education seminar, but when you put the word touring, it kind of puts it in a different perspective of what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if we're going to go in there and tour, it's like when a band says they're going to go and tour, is that they're providing a listening service and they're listening music, an ambiance, let's say merch and all that, which now barbers are doing, right?
Passion over paychecks.
And my biggest thing is that when we're going to these classes is that we're not necessarily doing... Yes, we're going to do and we're going to perform a service in front of everybody, but what we're doing is we're giving them the tools to create, or not only that, but we're giving them the tools to be successful behind the chair, right? So I think that gets phased out by it being a tour, it being about those people that aren't on the stage, opposed to it being the education that someone in is paying $150, $200 to receive, because it goes out the door when they're posting all these different things about, oh, look, I'm on tour. Look what I'm doing, how I'm doing. Because at the end of it, it's not necessarily you. It's the person that you're giving the education to.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you have?
On tours, I like the idea of it because it helps. It'll help grow the industry a little bit, in the sense that, like, so every area in the country or in the world, it has a certain way of haircuts, cutting hair, styling, stuff like that. Like, if you bring someone from New York, their terminology is going to be a lot different when they're out here.
Yeah.
When someone from like LA goes to New York, our terminology is going to be different there. So I think it helps broaden our terminology a little bit. It helps see,
But don't you think Instagram does that already?
Yeah, but it's not as personal.
Yeah.
I think having that personal
No, I get it. I know what you're saying.
thing, but yeah, I mean Instagram does it. You know, YouTube, you don't have to go to someone's tour to learn how to cut hair or learn.
It's just the physical aspect of it,
Yeah.
right? Because how many? I mean, I
I
think
also
I've-
don't like when like first year, graduates are, doing
or getting their
tours,
licenses and stuff.
Even if they don't, I mean, how many? Does anyone ever check if these barbers have their license, or are they just people that?
That I don't know, man.
You know.
Do you think that we should do that? You think we should be there?
Yeah, dude.
Checking their licenses.
State board.
It
State
cost you
board.
$6.9 on state board,
Yeah.
or what? Making wait.
Arizona State Board. I think you got someone out here doing a tour that doesn't
sounds-
have a license. If you don't have a license, dude, like don't go on tour. Like get your license and then go on tour. If you want.
I know what you're saying. I think that makes a big. I think that's a good point to throw out. And I think, like I said, it's crazy because, again, these guys are selling it for a pretty good amount, which is cool.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing is I'm always seeing pictures of them on stage. I'm not seeing the people, like, what they're receiving.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a look and learn, meaning people are going to pay to sit down and watch you cut hair and listen to what you're saying. And,
I've been to one of
motherfuckers
those.
are motivational speakers at times, and I think it's cool because you're giving and you're talking about your word, you're talking about what you've gone through. But
Yeah.
there's sometimes where a guy's only been cutting hair for a year or two, and they're talking about what they've been doing and how to give these people that have been doing it for 10 to 15 years,
Yeah.
a certain gem when, they're probably not even in that area. So that's just my thing. It can go both ways. People can like them. I just don't like the word tour.
Yeah.
I know that's why you always fuck
Yeah.
with me saying tour.
Mhm.
What else?
I don't like.
What do you like?
Um,
Because
I
we're
like-
talking about what we don't like. Let's talk
I
about
like
what we
I
do
like my Niners being 3-0. I like when you actually accept something that I'm trying to give you, like food.
No, when tours, I think it's cool that
I don't
you
like the
said-
glitz and glamour.
But we're talking about what we like.
Yeah. So I like when they're not all glitz and glamour. I like when it's like super, humble. And not like that fake humble.
It's
Like I'm the most humble person I know. I don't
you don't need to keep saying if you're humble.
Yeah.
I get it. I get what you're saying. But again, what do you like of it? Like for me, I like you said earlier, it's kind of it hits the same point of being able to see someone from a different state teach you and how they communicate. So and this is how it always been working. It's for me, it's like when I'm at a class, sometimes it's not even me talking, it's me asking questions, because what ends up happening is that the way we teach or the way we're cutting hair, they want to know what's going on inside of our heads.
Yeah.
So the better that we can elaborate that,
Yep.
the better of an educator you can be.
Yeah.
Now, if you can't elaborate what you're thinking about, and not only elaborating, but using the right terminology, then you're a good educator.
Terminology is hard as well because, like, you went to when you were in Michigan, you went to a professional demo, and then you were a guest speaker.
Yeah.
At a Paul Mitchell school, right?
Yeah.
So at the Paul Mitchell school, you probably used like I'm going from segment 1 to segment 2 to segment 3.
Not necessarily.
Really?
Well, because what ends up happening is that the way I like to do my class, and the same thing with Fernie, is that we like to do more of like an inside thing, right? Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Why do I hold the machine here? Why am I starting on that side? So it's not necessarily doing the systems. It's just, yes, we'll follow a system, and if it falls into it, then they ask, then we'll reiterate.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we do talk about the systems because that's what we're there for. But as a guest speaker, when you're from a different place and you're going to somewhere else,
Okay.
you can introduce it how you're doing it. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah.
So, like for professionals, it's not that they don't care about the systems. It's just they just want to know how to begin a haircut and how to end the haircut.
Yeah.
So how can I give them the information the fastest and the best way? Because my biggest thing is if they can walk out the door with 3 pieces of information and they can use it on their everyday cut, then I did my work.
Yeah.
That's why it always gets me mad when they're doing haircuts that they're not even in shops. So how is that going to benefit
Yeah.
them?
Today's class, I'm going to teach you the highborn. Today's class, I'm going to teach you Photoshop,
See,
camera,
that's what I'm saying.
photography.
So,
I'm going to teach you guys fibers.
and it was funny.
Topic.
Check this out. So I was having this conversation with my wife. I think it was 2 days ago. It was yesterday, and it dawned on me. So when I was in high school, I was in graffiti, right? So me growing up, everything that I've done, graffiti, skateboard, breakdancing, is that you had to have your own style, right? So if you're breakdancing and you did something that someone else did, they'll call you out right away.
Yeah.
They'll call you a biter, whatever. You're no good.
The biter.
Right? Tagging, the same thing.
You're a toy.
You're a toy. You're using someone else's style. Skating, not necessarily, but because everything kind of recycles on that.
Yeah.
So when I was in high school, I remember I got so pissed off because we were doing a mural. And when I used to write, excuse me, I used to try to do everything original because the way I grew up, again, you be original, that's going to be the way to go. And we were doing this mural, and this other guy, he bought like, let's say 6 or 7 magazines, and he took a lot of those letters and he put it into this mural. And we picked which is going to be better. So my letters were more original. So they weren't as crazy, but they were good enough, for me to turn in. This dude used someone else's letters, and he won. So we ended up painting it. So I was so mad. So the reason why I say that is because I think with me, the way I guess you could say grumpy, is because I feel like trying to be original in the barbering game isn't the way to go anymore.
Yeah. I get that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to follow whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then figure it out. So now I figured out why I'm so grumpy sometimes. Because the more original you are, the more less likely they won't look at you until someone else is doing something's already happening or doing that someone else is doing, and they make it, let's say, a little better.
So if someone starts doing like scissor fades like Andrew,
what about him?
like is that original or are they biting?
I don't think why would we call them scissor fades? They're scissor haircuts.
I don't know. I'm just trying to ask you.
I guess, I don't know. That dawned on me. If that makes any sense.
Would you ever pay $300 to take a photography class from a stylist?
I've done photography classes, but I've done through colleges.
Oh, you were there when they created the Kodak, huh? I love when I come with a joke and you just hear the sigh.
It was called
You woke yourself up.
It was called the Brownie, by the way.
What?
Kodak first camera. Gems. You know what
Gems,
I'm saying?
bro.
I don't know. The reason why I'm saying that is because
do you sometimes watch movies with the sound off to get like a flashback of when you were a kid?
Anyways, so going back into that touring, I'm not a big fan of the name, but I'm a big fan of
what it can do.
What it can do.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think people may assume that like I don't like tours, and I think it's funny to me because every time I say tour, you get that look in your face like, damn it. But I get, it's cool. I haven't been on one, so I wouldn't know much experience. That's more so for you.
Yeah. Do you think like the way I was kind of putting it in the sense of biting and stuff like that? Do you think that kind of makes sense now?
Yeah.
Because everybody kind of just takes everybody else's.
I think this is the industry where you can. It's like, I can, fade like Freddie, and I can cut the top like Fern,
and then also not only that, but have a weird sense of not understanding like a personality that Instagram likes more.
Yeah,
because I feel like that's what it always comes down to is like not necessarily the persona of that person that's on that Instagram. And I think, like I said, that's just me, the way I see it. Because I remember people used to get punched in the mouth for biting people's shit. You know what I mean? Like if I remember when we would, when we would paint downtown, and let's say we do a spot, the next week someone else spot jocks, like, or we spot jock or whatever, but we don't know. Like people want to get beat up for that. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where
we
it's
should
just
beat people up for jocking.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. It's just
you guys heard it here first on the Grindstone Collective.
Nah.
If someone bites your style, punch him in the mouth.
Nah, I'm just saying though. It's just
I don't do that.
Like I remember when I was in school, I got punched in the mouth because someone thought I ratted on him, and I didn't. I didn't even.
You
say
6'9" on him?
No, not even. But I got punched.
I take that back.
What'd you say?
I said you 6'9" then.
I guess that terminology is going to be kind of out of the. Like, do you want a 6'9"? No. I guess that goes out the window now, right? Because now you want to get snitched on. But I'm not saying that I did anything wrong. It's just understanding of like the respect value of what you were doing. Because like I said, if you talk to someone wrong or you like speak when you were not spoken to or something like that, people like I mean, I grew up in a place where you'll get socked up for doing something like that. So I'm not saying that go stock up a barber, but all I'm saying is that that's the
I'm
way I
down.
view it. And the way I view it is that way. Maybe I should stop viewing it that way. That way I can be a little bit more,
Happy?
yeah.
I don't think you're that grumpy. I think you're happy for a majority of the day, and then there's like little things that trigger you, and you get like,
You know what triggers me? You.
I know.
And you love it.
I love it.
I'm going to fuck your meniscus up one of these days.
It's already messed up,
No,
dude.
more, dude.
That's messed up. You threw a freaking Campbell's shave cream at me this morning.
I didn't mean to hit you.
Oh, man.
But, I mean, let's... So, we've already been talking for an hour.
Wow.
So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to knock it down to an hour today. Again, we just want to say thank you for everyone that's been listening. And hopefully we covered your guys' topics. And if you guys have any more topics that you guys want us to talk about freely, this is the place to do it. So ask us questions. Let us know what you're thinking about the podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit those 5 stars on the Apple Podcast. And you follow on Spotify. And on YouTube, make sure you guys hit that subscribe. You hit that like. And leave us comments. Let us know what you guys are thinking. Makes a big difference for us. What do you think, Zach?
Hit that subscribe. Hit the notifications.
Hit all that.
Hit everything.
Hook us up. You know what I mean? And again, my biggest thing is that I want to be able to hear other people, just say what they want to say and give us. We have the platform to say it. And if we can help you out to be able to throw it out there in the world, just let us know. Don't be afraid.
Share it with everybody that you know.
Oh, yeah. So when we post it, just share. Again, we just want to be out there. We just want to hang out with you guys. We just want to be like the barbershop that kind of travels with you when you're in the car. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, you like that one.
I like that. Should be our quote of the week.
That's it. That's the quote of the week.
We want to be
The barbershop
that travels with you.
in your car.
Yeah. I know. There's some shops that listen to us
Well, that's
in
dope.
their shop.
Well, I appreciate that. So the barbershop that can be listened to in the barbershop.
Oh man,
No. So again, a big
Thank
shout
you
out
guys
to
so much.
a big shout out to Roy coming in and hanging out with us again.
Can't be bothered today.
No, he's in love, sending text messages over there. You know what I mean? I see him look at his phone and he
Look
just
at him.
smiles. Look at him.
Smiles all day.
Oh, so he got that haircut. Now I know why you got that haircut. Oh, I see you. New glasses and shit. Let's go.
Are those new? Are those new glasses? They are new, huh?
Hey, don't fuck up my narrative here, dude. All right?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So, if you guys want to maybe find out how this little...
We'll have weekly updates on the relationship.
Yeah, we'll have weekly updates on Roy's relationship. All right, guys. He's all red, dude. Do you sing to her?
Up already,
Do
bro.
you
He
sing-
does.
do you
He
sing
does
to her?
sing to her.
What?
You sing to her?
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's the song?
The Smiths.
Oh, see?
Bro, this guy a couple weeks ago, on his Instagram story, he was at the park playing his guitar. He was serenading her, dude. He's smitten.
You didn't record this?
It was on his story. I didn't screen record it.
That's what I'm talking about. See?
I mean, shoot your shot.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So again,
Man.
thank you guys. Thank
Follow
you.
us on YouTube,
Yep. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter.
Twitter, YouTube,
Anything.
And, you can follow Freddie at palmetropro.com.
Oh, a big thing, Clipper Depot. Make sure that you guys check them out.
Man.
We got the Razzo 10.
They got everything, dude.
So everybody always asks me where I get my bags or where I get all my machines. And one big shout out to Josh from Clipper Depot. I went away from my Andis this training
Last week, yeah.
because one of the biggest things for me is that I want to be able to train or do a class that way. It just kind of goes all the way through the same way. And every time I use an Andis and then Fern uses a wall, it always kind of switches things up. So I needed a wall machine. Josh came in, dropped it off, hooked it up, 3 days. I'm using what did I use? A detailer?
The cordless detail and the magic clip.
And the magic clip. So again, big shout out to Josh. Appreciate you more than you know, my G. So again, go on Clipper Depot and type in Razzo 10. I'm going to try to get a Stax 10 or a Grindstone 10.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to do that. But as for now, use the Razzo 10 at the checkout. And just, yeah, man, check them out. Follow them on Instagram. And, yeah, they have everything you need.
If you guys have good recipes from your mom's cooking, let me know. Shoot them.
Oh, yeah. Zach wants to just...
I might retire from barbering.
No, you're not.
Just to be a chef.
No, fam.
Go to Cordon Bleu.
All right, my G. All right, guys. Peace.
Peace.